Free Grok 3 course. Build anything. I'm going to show you exactly how to build anything that you want using Grok 3 and also the Grok API as well. We'll be covering on to, for example, how you can build games, apps, tools, websites, and how we can start with the basics. So let's crack straight into this. This is a course that's very comprehensive. It will teach you everything you need to know about Grok 3. I'm going to crack straight into this by telling you exactly how to get access. So specifically for Grok 3, they've just announced recently that you can get Grok 3 for free, so you don't need to pay for it. And then you can sign up, for example, at grok.com, or you can go onto X, go to the Grok section over here, and you will get free access. Now, if you're not sure what Grok can do, essentially, it's got a deep search function. We'll be showing you exactly how that works later in this video, and essentially that is great for research. You also have the think mode. The think mode is fantastic for logic, reasoning, and coding. It's not great for creating content. If you want to create content, you don't need to select deep search or think. You can just plug in your prompts right here. I'll be showing you some of my best prompts for researching, creating content, writing content, building landing pages, websites, tools, apps, codes, etc. later in this video. The other thing that you can do here is you can create images, and these are very realistic images compared to something like ChatGPT. So for example, if we say draw a river otter playing a ukulele, as you do, it's going to generate 4 different options like you can see right here. So if you want to automate images as well, very easy, and then you can have a look at all 4 options and decide which one you want. Now, just to put this in context here, if we actually went over to ChatGPT and we asked it to do the same thing, so we'll say draw a river otter playing a ukulele, and these images are super realistic, right? They feel like photos almost, not drawings. If you go back onto ChatGPT 4.0 now, you'll see that the style was very cartoonish and is not really ideal for a blog or for social media or anything like that. I would say the images on Grok are much, much better. You can also share, so you can click on copy share link in the top right here, and you can share stuff and share it with other people, post it on the web, etc. Or you could just copy the image, go over to your profile, paste that image in, add a little caption, boom shakalaka, there you go, it's ready to go. Now, in terms of benchmarks, so you can see this is a very recent blog from Grok 3, and it's basically talking about the age of reasoning agents. And I'll also be coming on later on this video about exactly how Elon Musk is planning to actually launch Grok 3 AI agents into space. And you can imagine that the AI that seems to be getting better and better, it's actually built on 200,000 GPUs from NVIDIA, is only going to improve. And bear in mind, if you sent like robots into space and they were operating on Grok 3's API, they don't need oxygen. They are very calm in like crazy emergency situations. They follow our instructions, like they'd be ideal candidates for just going into space and exploring the world, which I think is a long-term vision, but we'll come on to that later and I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. Grok 3 trained on a Colossus supercluster with 10x of compute of previous state-of-the-art models. It's great at reasoning, maths, coding, world knowledge, and instruction following tasks. And bear in mind as well, this is trained on the latest data from, right? Now, Twitter is one of the biggest news websites in the world. It's constantly being influxed with loads of different data. Grok is being trained on directly. Whereas, for example, I was always a big fan of Claude, but the thing that lets you down inside Claude is if we go in here and we're like, okay, tell me about Grok 3, it doesn't know Jack Johnson about Grok 3, all right? Whereas, for example, Grok 3 is updated with real-time data. It feeds all of that in. And so not only is this great for creating content, but it's also great for research, for searching the web. Honestly, at this stage in the game, I would say that Grok and other AI engines like this, especially when they're as updated as Grok, are better than search engines like Google because they're more efficient, they're trained on more data, and they give you better, more concise answers. But not only that, they're not incentivized to show you ads, right? This is not monetized with ads, which is a fundamental flaw of something like Google, right? For example, if you go into Google and you're trying to search for the best SEO company, it's biased because it's going to show you who paid the most, not who's the best SEO agency. Or if you go onto Google and you type in like best protein shakes, right? It's not going to show you the best protein shakes. It's going to show you who's the best at SEO for optimizing for the best protein shakes. Whereas, for example, these search engines are way better. So if we say best protein shakes, it's actually going to feed information, and then there's no ads in here, there's no sponsored placements. Grok is not to show you anything specific, it's just going to try and give you the best answer it can. It's coming from the frame of trying to help you with SEO, not from the frame of how can I make money with ads. Totally different frame. totally different way of seeing the world, really. It's also very good at creating content. So if we plug in a prompt like this, all the prompts that I show you today are inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you want to get access to that, link in the comments description. But you can see here like how good the content is. So if we say, okay, create this SEO optimized article, you can see here actually create something that's really real, engaging, interesting, nicely formatted, and personalized to me and who I am. Absolutely awesome. And if you want the basics right here, if we go to the settings, you can actually change the language if you need to. You can switch between different modes. So you can have light or dark. You can choose whether you want to automatically open search results, whether you want follow-up suggestions, and also whether you want to wrap long lines for code blocks by default. On top of that, you can also allow Grok to personalize using your X data, right? So if you want to have an even more personalized experience of Grok, then you can actually allow that in your settings like so. Now, I'll be coming on to more ways to use Grok in a minute. You can see the main benchmarks here, and this is compared to DeepSeek R1, Gemini 2.0, and ChatGPT O1. So all the biggest AI models in the world. And on the benchmarks here for competition maths, GPQ, live coding, multimodal understanding, like Grok is absolutely dominating. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite tools. And you can see how you can use it here for coding, gaming, etc. I'll show you some live examples and prompts you can use later in this video and course on exactly how to do that. And also, if you want to actually code, now, if you want to use the API from Grok, the Grok 3 API, just being 100% transparent with you, is not actually out yet, but it's coming out within the next few weeks. But here's what you can do. If you download Visual Studio Code, like you can see right here, so you can get that at code.visualstudio.com. And then in the extensions tab, go to Client, download Client, one-click install. Again, this is free as well. So just to recap, Visual Studio Code is free, Client is free as well. And then go inside Client, go in the settings, right? Select your API provider as OpenRouter. Grab an API key from OpenRouter. So you can just grab an API key in your settings, go to keys, plug that into Visual Studio Code inside the OpenRouter API key section. And then if you type in Grok, you'll see all the different versions of Grok that you can actually get access to. So Grok 2, Grok 2 Vision, Beta, and Grok Vision Beta. All right. So if we select, for example, Grok 212, then we're going to hit done. This is an older version, so it's using Grok 2, not Grok 3, because Grok 3 isn't out yet as an API. We can now say, for example, plan out my project for my SEO content writing tool in a flowchart. We can begin to build code apps using Client 3.4. Now, this is a brand new update that literally just came out within the last few hours. And you can see here how it basically plans out the whole tool before we build it. And then we can get the AI agent to go off and build that. Pretty amazing stuff. And that's just inside the chat directly here. And all we said was plan out my project for SEO content writing tool in a flowchart. And that is using Grok 2 API right there. And it's really easy to implement using OpenRouter. So for example, if we say, okay, now go off and build this bad boy, and it will just start coding the whole project like you can see right here. So pretty amazing stuff. That's exactly how you can build tools. If you want to see something really cool, what you can actually do if you go to the MCP marketplace over here is you can link this directly to apps. So Airtable, Shopify, Spotify, Discord, Google Calendar, and you can code using Supabase, Perplexity, etc. with Grok 2's API. And then you can do, for example, like a live search report or a Perplexity deep research report and create a live landing page. If you want to see an example of that, so this is an API request we ran earlier, and you could do this with the Grok 2 API if you want. Just make sure you've selected it in the bottom right. We've plugged in our Perplexity API key and implemented the MCP server from Perplexity. That went off, did a deep research report, then it coded this file right here, completed the task, and then if you want to see what the final product looks like, hosted on a live test domain, let's click this open, and you can see how cool that looks. And that was literally using Client 3.4, the new update, plus you can easily code this with the Grok API. So let's get straight into some practical examples of exactly how you can use it, how it works, what you can build with it, and some of my best prompts for using Grok 3. Huge update from X today as we have Grok 3, and today we're going to be testing out. I just got access to it. It has two new modes, as you can see right here. So Grok 3 introduces two new modes to interact with our most powerful model, Deep Search and Think. So it seems to have some sort of reasoning model embedded inside there as well, and you can switch between these. Now, how similar does this look between ChatGPT and Grok? It's absolutely wild. Like the branding, the colors, and the icons even used on the buttons. Like, for example, if you select deep research here, or you deselect that, it is so similar, it's bizarre. But anyway, we're going to go straight into here now, and we're going to be testing it out. You also get access to grok.com. So they've just launched a new version of Grok, not only inside Twitter or X as you want to call it, but inside.com. And this is more like a dedicated user interface. And then you can actually share chats directly to Twitter as well. So let's test it out. We're going to just start with something basic right now. I'm going to say, okay, name me some dog breeds that end in I, because I want to see, okay, how intelligent is it? Can it actually do things the right way? I was doing a live stream before and it totally failed on that. And you can see it actually fails on it again inside the chat here. So not a good start. So it said, name me dog breeds that end in I. And it's come up with Shiba Inu, which does not end in I. Neither of those words end in I. But let's see now if we switch to the new chat and we'll switch to think mode and see if we get a better output. So we're using the logical version of Grok, the reasoning model that can give us better outputs, hopefully, if we type in the same prompt. And we'll say, okay, name me dog breeds that end in I. Now it's going to think it over. It gives you the timer and it shows you exactly what it's thinking about. If we click on the arrow down there, we can see how it's rolling out. Very similar to DeepSeek, actually, when you look at this and the way that it rolls out. All these UIs are beginning to feel very similar, and that seems to be giving us a better output. So, for example, it's actually overcome the challenge that it failed on last time, and it said, therefore, the dogs that end with the letter I are these, and these, and it has passed the test, all right? So the reasoning model, if you want intelligent answers, is far superior to the normal version of Grok 3. Now, bear in mind as well, this is Grok 3 beta. It is not the main version of Grok. One of the other things that Elon was talking about inside his stream recently was how you can build games. So I'm going to test this out now. I'm going to say, okay, build a snake game combined with Space Invaders, and then we'll switch to think mode. I like it much more than the old version, just for its reasoning model, because you're going to get better outputs, it's going to come up with the goods and give you something intelligent. Whereas, for example, Grok previously would give you basic answers, but it wasn't that great. And additionally, what you're going to get from this is that Grok 3 is linked to the latest news updates and information that comes from Twitter or X, right? Now, inside X, people are constantly posting new stuff, posting new materials. And so the benefit of using something like X versus using something like ChatGPT is that it's got newer, more recent data. Now, the thinking mode does seem to take longer than usual. What we can actually do is we can compare this to ChatGPT. We'll give it exactly the same prompt on. So this is the reasoning model from O1. In fact, I'm going to switch that now because I want to use O3 Mini instead, which is a more recent model, and we'll see how this performs. Let's have a look at some of the benchmarks. So this is a great tweet from Robert Scoble, who's showing, okay, from the live stream, they released some benchmarks in terms of Grok 3 versus Gemini, DeepSeek, Claude, and GPT-4o, and you can see for benchmarks in terms of math, science, and coding, Grok is winning by a long way. Now, if you want to compare it in terms of reasoning, right, because Grok 3 is more of a reasoning model as well, then you can compare it against O3 Mini, O1, DeepSeek R1, and Gemini Flash 2 thinking, and you can see the Grok is dominating on those benchmarks. But take them with a pinch of salt because this is never that reliable. Now, we've got the code inside here. As you can see, it also gives us details on how to use and install this. Just to test this out, I'm actually going to say, give me the HTML code for the game instead so we can preview it live online. That is taking quite a while to load, I'll be honest with you, but it seems to have almost finished. So hopefully we get that back soon. One thing I do like about this is just the speed. Look at the speed that it's coding at, right? I've never seen ChatGPT or anything else like that code as quickly as that. So it's pretty wild, and it seems to be coding really in depth. So we've got the code ready to go in HTML from Grok. Let's test this out, see what we got back. From LiveWeave, there is nothing there. That is not working at all. Let's compare that versus ChatGPT. So inside ChatGPT, we have the HTML as well for the snake game, and that is actually working, as you can see. So you've got a combination of Space Invaders and a snake directly from the code from ChatGPT. However, inside Grok, this didn't work at all. All it does is it creates like a green block on a white blank space. It's not really nicely designed or anything like that. So not the best start, but let's keep going now. What we're going to say inside both is generate a picture of a giraffe riding a magic carpet. And we'll switch off deep think. I don't mean it needs deep think mode for that. And then we'll do the same inside ChatGPT, and we've got them side by side. So Grok has come back to us way faster, and look at the quality of those images. That is absolutely awesome. If we have a look at the image from ChatGPT, it's just not as interesting. It doesn't feel as realistic, right? So this is the image from ChatGPT. And over here, we have the images from Grok, and they're just superior by a long way. You just can't argue with that, can you? That is a giraffe on a magic carpet, flying around, having a great time. ChatGPT is still winning from what I can see in terms of coding. The code from Grok didn't work at all. I know that Elon said it would take about a week before you can properly judge Grok 3, but from what I've seen, ChatGPT A03 Mini is still superior for coding. For reasoning, Grok is very impressive. Let's test something else out now. So what we're going to do is test it out for content creation. I'm going to take a prompt like this. We'll go inside Grok and we're going to say, okay, create an SEO optimized article for this. And we don't need deep think for this. This is pretty simple stuff. We'll say keyword equals SEO training Japan, something like that. In the meantime, we can compare this versus ChatGPT. The speed at which it replied is pretty awesome as well. So we'll go inside ChatGPT. We'll do exactly the same thing, same prompt, plug it in. I do like the canvas mode inside ChatGPT. That is awesome. Let's have a look. So if we pull these up side by side and see which one is better for content creation. SEO training Japan, your no-nonsense guide to crushing it online, not bad for a headline, versus ChatGPT that says SEO training in Japan, master SEO and dominate Google. Honestly, like out of those, I would probably pick this one. However, what you can see here, and this is a common telltale, if you ever see someone sending you a message like this, humans just don't use these large dashes, or it's super rare. But you can see that Grok has used that twice within the first paragraph. Now, if we read the introduction, it said SEO training isn't just a buzzword, it's the key to unlocking serious growth for your business. Blah, blah, blah. I'm Julian Goldie. Here's what I've done. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff, and I'm here to cut through the noise for you. This actually reads a lot more humanized in this one, right? So despite the dashes, which I would include in the prompt, I would say just remove the dashes. The actual writing itself feels very humanized. It's nicely written. It's formatted throughout the content as well. It's also included some links that are not hallucinated to our funnels for the content. So for content creation, that is 10 times better than Grok 2, for sure. Let's actually have a look as well, see how long the content itself is. So if we scroll down, we'll see how long we got here. So 722 words, not bad. Let's see what we got back from ChatGPT. ChatGPT gave us 676 words, so pretty much on par. Grok 3 just gave us 50 words extra. But I do like the fact that, for example, inside Twitter, like you can post articles directly. So there's actually an article section here. And a lot of these articles, they get really good reviews. Like this got 3,700 views. And you could just generate the content inside Grok. Like you could give it a transcript and say, okay, go off and create the content for this now. And then you can get thousands of views and send people to your funnels using these articles. If you want to see my automation for doing that, then you can actually grab that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. And it's got all my best SOPs and processes for creating and turning video transcripts and creating blogs with AI SEO. So feel free to get that. But we're going to keep rolling through now. And one thing that I'm super excited to test as well is the deep search option. You can basically search a web like ChatGPT's $200 a month option, which is on ChatGPT Pro, or Perplexity, which actually gives you 5 free searches per day. So we can compare the outputs from each of these and see which one gives us the best response. I'm going to test them all in real time. I'm going to start a new thread on each just to be fair here. So we're going to say now, research Grok 3 and the latest updates from it using Perplexity Deep Research. We can do the same inside Grok 3 as well. And then inside ChatGPT, we will use Deep Research as well. I am paying for all these tools just to help you and show you exactly how this works step by step and to give you the best comparison between each. Now, Grok 3 is coming back to us pretty much straight away, which is absolutely amazing. It's super fast. However, if you actually look here, it's cut off, right? And it seems to be stuck down there. It doesn't seem to be generating anymore, right? But now it's continued resuming. So it's actually generated that research unbelievably quickly. We've got words back there really quickly. Is still doing the research, like you see, it's at reading point. And ChatGPT actually asked us to clarify some points. So I'm just going to go with all of them for now. Now, usually with ChatGPT Deep Research, that's going to be like a 10,000 word report. And it will take about 30 minutes. Plus, you only get 100 generations per month to do deep research. If you use deep search inside Grok, I don't know if there's a limit yet. There probably is, but I just don't know what it is. And also inside Perplexity, you get, I think it's 5 free searches a day. And then if you want more, you just go on the premium plan, right? Now, quite often, you're not going to need a 10,000 word dissertation on the research, even if it is super in-depth. But with Grok 3, this is like a search engine in itself. And it's found a bunch of web pages. This is not just referencing tweets. So it actually has 2 different sections. You got posts, which is taken from Grok, like you can see. And then also inside this section, it's got the web pages section. So it's sourcing from the web as well. So it seems to be almost like what would I say? I feel like this is almost replacing Google as well as ChatGPT or other search methods. So it's pretty awesome. Let's have a look at what it's saying though inside the responses. So if we have a look here, it's referencing posts. This post was from January the 29th, February the 11th. I can't see any recent posts. So it's not, for example, like referencing the live stream I did on Grok 3 today. If we keep scrolling down here, like most of these are really outdated posts. If you go inside the web pages section here, that's a live updates feature. So that seems to be more recent. But for example, if we use Perplexity, Perplexity is actually going to resource. Perplexity usually references stuff that's from really recently. So if we have a look here, this was literally from today, right? Like maybe an hour ago or something like that. So Perplexity seems to use more recent data, whereas Grok is still in the beta stages. I don't think it's 100% ready. And additionally, if you look at the depth of the report here, this is 421 words. Whereas if you look at Perplexity and we go through the content here and we compare it, the content from Perplexity is 973 words. So it's a lot more in depth. Plus it's got the sources inside the content. I can't see that inside the deep search option from Grok 3. So it doesn't reference the sources inside here. And ChatGPT is still going to take a while, but I know for a fact this will be more in depth, more detailed than anything else out there. However, if we go on here and we look at where is it sourcing the information from, I don't know if it's using like really recent references, right? Doesn't show you the dates. So I would honestly pick out of all of them for speed, but also depth and resources and the quality of data. I'm still going to go with Perplexity. I think that's still a better option when it comes to deep research agents. However, Grok is a decent option if you're already subscribed to Grok. Let's actually have a look what Perplexity says about the tiers here. So this is referencing the latest data. So for example, this is testingcatalog.com, and this was just posted on February the 18th. And you can see that it says Grok 3 Mini optimized for low latency interactions, Grok 3 Reasoning designed for complex problem solving, and Big Brain mode activated for advanced queries. This mode layers multiple reasoning engines, achieving state-of-the-art results on PhD level biology and chemistry questions. If we go inside the benchmarking against leaders, it's really feeding in like the latest data. I would say that is a far better research report. And additionally here you can see in terms of monetization and accessibility. So X Premium subscribers for $16 a month gain basic access to Grok 3, including 50 deep search queries monthly. So that seems to be the limit right there. Super Grok, which I was talking about earlier, is priced at $30 a month. This tier offers unlimited reasoning queries, priority API access, and early features like voice mode, which is coming on February the 25th. And then you got the enterprise API, which I think is big potatoes if you want to sign up for that. I think that's a few thousand if I remember correctly. So I think if you really want to get the most out of this, like Super Grok is where it's at. Now, if you're using grok.com directly, if we say, for example, tell me about today's news, it's going to search the web live. And it says, as of today, February the 17th, here's some key news stories. So that seems to be better for deep research as well. And then what you can do here is you can actually share this to your team. So you can copy the link and share that if we open up a new incognito, as you can see. And then also, if we go to share on X, we can actually share what we've created directly on X using grok.com, right? Now, what's going to be interesting is, will these pages index directly on Google, right, and get traffic? For example, if you create a response about Google, can you share and rank that conversation just like you can with Perplexity pages? And you can actually see, you can. That was an unexpected query that I just pulled up. But you can see how, for example, this entire conversation actually indexes on Google. So these responses are not just shareable on Twitter or anywhere else, but also you can share these responses and then they actually index inside Google. And this has only been launched today and it's already indexing. There's 3 pages of content directly indexed on Grok. So I can imagine like a lot of people create content and then grok.com is going to get tons of traffic. Kind of like how Perplexity pages is just constantly indexing. Like you see there's tons of pages just constantly being ranked on Google directly from Perplexity pages. It seems like they're trying to compete with everyone here, right? This is a bold move from Elon because essentially you got deep search, you got think mode, you can attach files, you can generate images, you can search the web like Google, you can create pages just like you can with Perplexity pages, you can feed in the latest data from Twitter. It's pretty wild. And also Super Grok is coming and you've got your own, and inside grok.com, you've got your own UI for using this stuff as well. And you've got some options here, so you can analyze data, brainstorm, create images, and code. So if we select code, this is going to be interesting as well. So if we say, for example, help me write a snake game, I'm wondering if it's got like a canvas option inside grok.com. And that, yeah, that's better for coding. Look at that, that's 10 times better. So it's got like its own canvas section. We can click on wrap it up, copy that code. We can say, okay, create a HTML for this game, and it looks just like ChatGPT. It feels just the same. The only difference is like the icon here is slightly different, but it doesn't seem like you can run the code directly inside here. So you'd have to run it on liveweed.com or anywhere else to actually get that. But yeah, how similar does that look to ChatGPT? It's pretty wild. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all of my best tutorials on using email and content automation, social media, building AI agents and workflows, web automation, and AI SEO automation, plus an awesome community of 135 members, all interested in AI, along with weekly coaching calls with me where you can jump on and ask any questions. If you actually sign up today, then you can jump on the live Q&A call tomorrow. And additionally, we're going to be adding a Grok free course inside here. So if you sign up now, it's on a beta pricing. We're probably going to increase that soon. So feel free to sign up now while you can. Link in the comments description. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that. Link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets of SEO link building, or answer any questions you have one-to-one. You learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors in link building, and how to send SEO traffic based on what's working for us. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. Grok 3 versus ChatGPT versus DeepSeek. Who wins? We're going to find out today. And this is based on testing out the smartest AI on Earth, according to Elon Musk. So we're going to be putting it through the paces, comparing each model, seeing which is the best, which one performs the best, and which one has the strongest points for each. So let's get straight into it. If you want to get access, I've got access via a premium account on Twitter at grok.com, grok.com, and then you can select from the drop down Grok 3. We've also got ChatGPT. We'll be comparing directly with O3 Mini for reasoning tasks and DeepSeek R1 for reasoning tasks as well. So let's get straight into it. The first thing we're going to be testing is we're going to say to Grok, write a Python script of a ball bouncing inside a spinning tesseract, as you do, and that should put it through the paces, and we'll see what we get back from each model. Now, what I've typically found is that Grok is actually really, really fast at replying. So you can see here, for example, Grok has already spat out the Python code, whereas, for example, GPT-03 Mini from ChatGPT is still thinking about things, and DeepSeek, well, that's not even come back to us with any thoughts just yet. So in terms of speed, Grok is unbelievably powerful. I think they've got 200,000 GPUs running underneath a supercomputer called Colossus. I have not just made that up, like that's actually fact. And so what we're going to do is through this now. I'm going to grab the Python script. We're going to plug it into this Python script previewer. Like you can see, we'll hit run and see how that works and how it performs. And there we have the spinning tesseract. Boom shakalaka. Now that was using the normal version of Grok. Now we have the Python script back from ChatGPT. So we'll duplicate the test and we'll test these out side by side. So we're going to plug the script from ChatGPT inside here and run the Python code. And that doesn't seem to work at all in the preview. As you can see, we get an error back. And DeepSeek has totally given up on us. We might have to switch to DeepSeek version 3 because it says the server is busy. Try again later. So DeepSeek has failed. ChatGPT has failed. But Grok is absolutely smashing it. Fair play to it. So next up, we're going to test it for writing capabilities. And this is for creating a landing page, right? So we're going to say, create a one-page website for the niche, video SEO ranking service, make it beautiful, modern, sleek, etc. Emojis, headings, here's a keyword, here's some information about me, here's some links to our funnels, and here's some information about how to create the page, all right? So we're going to take that content like so. Then we're going to go over to Grok, plug that in right here. It is unbelievably fast. It's just redonkulous. Now we're going to go onto a new chat inside ChatGPT. We'll use O3 Mini again, plug that in, and then inside DeepSeek, I'm going to switch to DeepSeek version 3 because it looks like DeepSeek R1 is not working right now, which kind of automatically puts it out of the race, but hopefully we get better results with DeepSeek version 3. So we've got the HTML, surprise, surprise, from Grok already. Let's test it out, see what we get back. And that is looking pretty nice already, just from the preview here. So I'm going to open this up. Here we go. Not bad at all, not bad. Let's scroll down the page. It's okay. I mean, the design could be better, right? I really like this bit here, but if you scroll down like the page, it doesn't look so good. The design is kind of weird colors. It could be 10 times better, let's be honest with you. So now we're going to take the code from ChatGPT, like you can see. We'll plug that in. And this is the content from ChatGPT O3 Mini, which is, O3's the latest model from ChatGPT. And it's not great. Like, it's put the title in black font on a black background. Doesn't make any sense. It does have the navigation bar here, and it does actually work the links, but straight away, I mean, the landing page is broken, right? If we look at the rest of the content, it's okay, but you've got like a button in the middle of the page, which doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, neither of them are great. I'm going to go with probably Grok and ChatGPT are tied. DeepSeek has failed on us again, and that's using DeepSeek version 1. So you might have to switch this up in a second. What I'm going to do, just to get creative and focus on solutions, not problems, I'm going to grab DeepSeek R1, which we can run locally with Olama, and we're just going to use that as a model instead. So if we plug that in, we've got Olama working in the background over there, and now we can give it prompts. So I'm going to give it exactly the same prompt, like so. We're going to use DeepSeek R1 locally, because the online version doesn't seem to work at all. So now it's starting to create the content, and we'll see what it comes back with. Bear in mind, this is 7B, right? And it's a distilled model of DeepSeek. So it's not the full version, but the full version online doesn't work right now. It says the server is busy. That's the best I could do for you. I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to get you the best results possible, right? Now, it's actually creating that in Markdown from what I can see. So it's not creating the HTML, which isn't ideal. So you can see here on the DeepSeek R1 version, we're not getting great results. I've got another idea just to give it one more chance. I want to be fair to DeepSeek. It's not giving us much on the local version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to DeepSeek on Perplexity, and we're going to use reasoning mode, DeepSeek R1. We'll just let that landing page work in the background. Now that's going to take a little while to go. So what we're going to do is, whilst we're waiting for DeepSeek R1 to catch up in the race, we're going to move on to the next task, and I'll come back to this in a second once it's loaded. But so far, I would say Grok and ChatGPT are tied on that, and DeepSeek R1 totally failed. Let's be honest. Yeah, so even inside Perplexity, it's still just giving us the content. There's not actually any HTML there. I mean, honestly, from what I can see, like, DeepSeek R1 is really letting the team down here. There's only so many chances I can give it. We'll say create this as HTML, and we'll move on to the next task inside Grok. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to ask Grok to create an article, right? A blog right here. So we're going to say create an SEO optimized article for this. Keyword equals, we'll put something like Grok 3 AI SEO. Content outline, we can use its default content creation. We've got some source context about us. Basically what we're trying to do here is create a nicely optimized SEO article that is engaging and useful to read. All right, so we'll go into Grok and we'll ask it to do its magic there. We'll do the same inside ChatGPT 03. And actually I'm going to use GPT 4.0 for this because, you know, reasoning models are not great for creating content, whereas I would say ChatGPT 4.0 is typically better for creating the content right there. All right, and it has a nice little canvas mode for creating content. And now we're still getting the HTML back from DeepSeek R1 for the previous task. I mean, Grok is just unstoppable for creating content and for getting quick answers. So you can see, for example, Grok has already finished a long time ago. ChatGPT 4.0 is still creating the content. Let's see how long both of these articles are. So Grok is, in total, 841 words. ChatGPT 4.0 seems to have leveled up a lot because it's creating a longer article from what I can see than it would usually, but it's still only 645 words. So in terms of speed and in terms of length, Grok is winning. In terms of the actual content creation and readability, let's have a look what we got here. So the headline from Grok is Grok 3 AI SEO, how I'm using AI to dominate search rankings in 2025. That's perfect. Grok inside ChatGPT 4, it says Grok 3 AI SEO, how to leverage AI for explosive search rankings. I would say both of these are pretty good headlines. I do like the way that this is formatted really nicely. Inside Grok, it's quite easy to read and scan through, but both of these are really good articles, to be fair. I mean, you can feel how humanized this is. So it says, you're probably wondering, how the hell do I keep up with SEO in 2025? Google's algorithms are beast. AI's taking over, and your competitors are probably sweating bullets trying to outrank you. Really humanized article there. That's like so good for creating content. I honestly, I never expected Grok to be that good at creating content. Like, that's probably Claude level. I would say that's Claude 3.5's level, which is GOAT mode right there. If we have a look at this, it says, let's cut to the chase. SEO is evolving fast. Google's algorithm smarter than ever. Competition brutal. And AI, it's about to flip the game upside down. These are very level, but I'm going to go with Grok for the writing. I would say Grok just feels a lot more humanized. It's nicely formatted. The heading is super nice. Really, really good stuff. I'm going to rate Grok probably a 9 out of 10. And I'd probably rate ChatGPT 4.0's content about a 7.5 out of 10 for humanization. Now let's come back to DeepSeek R1. We'll grab that. We'll plug that into our HTML and see what we get back. So this is the code from DeepSeek R1. I mean, there's no CSS in there, but it's just giving us the HTML. But if we go down, it said, it asked if we want to create CSS in the the separate section. But honestly, DeepSeek R1 is out the race as far as I'm concerned. It's not creating as good content. It let us down. The server is busy. The local doesn't work properly. It's not giving us HTML with CSS inside. I just think that ChatGPT and Grok have already walked all over it, which is pretty wild. I do like the API from DeepSeek though. It is good stuff. Next up, what we're going to say is create a Space Invaders game in HTML. So we're going to give that to Grok and we'll give that to ChatGPT. We'll switch back to O3 Mini. That's better for reasoning. And we've got the HTML code ready to go. Let's see what we got here. Does it work? Yeah, that's working, isn't it? Boom shakalaka. All right, let's check ChatGPT. So we got the HTML back from ChatGPT as well. I mean, to be honest, like ChatGPT's game is coded better. Like you get more blocks, you get more Space Invaders enemies. If we actually go back to Grok's HTML, this one right here, and we plug that into LiveWeave, you can see that you only get 4 enemies. And also, they don't seem to be moving down. They seem to be just moving side to side. So I would say ChatGPT 1 on this one. Maybe ChatGPT is better for coding, but it did lose the Python script challenge. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go into ChatGPT. We'll say, give me some generic, fluffy, AI, obvious content, and you'll see why in a second. So we've got some really fluffy content from ChatGPT, and if we plug that through an AI detector, that's coming out at 100% AI detectable, right? It's very obvious that that is AI detectable content. So now what we're going to do is we're going to plug that into ChatGPT O3 Mini. I'm going to use exactly the same prompt in both scenarios, and we shall say, humanize this so it bypasses AI detectors 100% of the time. Here we go. Must be 100% non-AI detectable. We'll do the same in Grok. We'll do the same inside Perplexity deep reasoning mode, simply because, you know, the main website's not working. So we can just use Perplexity's method of using that for now. So we've got the content back from ChatGPT O3 Mini. Let's plug that into Zero GPT, see how we do. So that is coming back at 78%, right? So it went back from 100% AI detectable to 78%. So that has reduced the AI detectability by 22%. And it doesn't really pass the test because we said, you know, it must be 100% non-AI detectable. So now we're going to take the same thing from Grok, grab that, we'll go into Zero GPT, plug that in, see what we get. And that is coming out. So that's winning at the minute, although I wouldn't say either is great. Now we've got the content from DeepSeek R1. So let's plug that into Zero GPT, see how it performs. And that is 100% AI detectable. Now, one thing I actually forgot to do, rookie mistake, absolute noob mistake, is we should have switched on think mode inside Grok because we're comparing it against GPT O3 Mini and Perplexity R1. So let me do that first, and then we'll come back to you with some good ideas and see what the performance is like. Just one thing to bear in mind is you do get better outputs with the think version of Grok versus just the normal version, all right? So you've got the content back here. Let's grab this now. Here we go. Plug this in and compare, and that's come out at 95%. So actually the normal version of Grok performed better than the thought process. I mean, Grok came out first with just normal mode. ChatGPT O3 Mini came out at second, and DeepSeek, again, didn't pass any of these. I don't know if DeepSeek has just got worse recently with all the people flooding the servers and testing out and the crazy amount of reach that it got recently, but something has happened to DeepSeek. Something has changed there. I know like Perplexity are probably hosting it locally in the US instead of going straight from the source, but still, it's very, very surprising. Now, one thing I want to show you, this is something I actually created earlier today, which is using deep research inside ChatGPT. Now, this costs $200 a month to get access to ChatGPT Pro plan, which allows you to use deep research. If we use the same prompt inside Grok, we can actually select deep search over here, and we'll give you exactly the same prompt, which is research Grok and the latest AI updates from it. And then we'll do the same inside DeepSeek and Perplexity. Perplexity actually has a feature for this, which is deep research, all right? And we can combine the deep research mode inside Perplexity, compare it versus Grok, and compare it versus ChatGPT. Now, I would say, honestly, out of all of these, the best results you're going to get are directly from ChatGPT O3 Mini. All right. And the reason that I say that is like, look how in-depth this is, plus all the sources included. And this is including information from today, I believe. So if we actually have a look at this, it says Grok was officially unveiled in mid-February 2025. It's got the exact time right there. Very, very in-depth article, very useful data right there, very well researched. And how long is this content? I mean, it's absolutely insane how much content. This is better than a human would create. and it creates it faster than most people. So that comes out at 4,700 words. If you go onto Grok, we do get a decent report. I mean, look at all the research you get here. It's really, really interesting stuff to see. It is pulling in the latest information right here. It's quoting Elon Musk and his words earlier this week on the smartest AI on earth. It's pulling in information from tweets as well, which is pretty cool. And it's got like a really nice table comparison of features as well. So it depends what you want here. Like for me, if I wanted all the information I could possibly get, then ChatGPT is probably still winning, right? But if I wanted like something really straight to the point, then this report from Grok is super powerful, super useful. It's based on really recent data and research. I like the way it lays out the table. The resources and the sources and the citations throughout are super easy to read. If we go into Perplexity, it's taken a little while to get back to us on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a report that we actually created earlier on the same topic. And this is from Perplexity. I would again say this is really good. Like you can see how it's compared the models here. Honestly, that might be better than Grok. And if I had to put them in terms of order of who wins for research, then I'm going to say ChatGPT, then Perplexity, then Grok 3. Simply because Perplexity, you get it for free. It gives you really recent data. It cuts through a lot of the fluff. There's no fluff in here really. And it's got a nice table as well, plus a conclusion. But ChatGPT, you can't beat the data. It just takes about 30 minutes to generate, which is the only downside. And you have to pay $200 a month for it. Now, what I would say with Grok though is, and this is really one of its biggest strengths, is like Grok integrates directly into a social media platform, right? And there's no real useful AI that's doing that. So, Grok is an outlier in itself. It can also generate really nice images. And additionally, it can search the web. It can connect to your social media. You can actually share the conversations as well. And these conversations get indexed on Google if you want to make them public. For me, I'm going to go with Grok. Like, I honestly think like I probably don't need a ChatGPT subscription anymore because I get all the same processes, all the same features inside Grok, but at the same time, I also get access to the benefits of a pro plan inside, right? So why would I need ChatGPT? Why would I need to pay $200 a month for that? DeepSeek, something seems to have happened to it. So I'm going to put that last out of everything today. ChatGPT comes in second and Grok comes in number one. It just seems to be strong at everything, including writing, coding, Python code, research, generating images. It's absolutely awesome at generating images and better than ChatGPT. So that's what I'm going to stick with. We're actually going to release a Grok 3 course inside the AI Profit Boardroom. That's coming soon, so make sure you sign up. We've got the price on beta right now. The prices will probably go up as we've already got 139 members inside there. This also comes with all of my best courses on automating email, social media, AI agents, web automation, AI SEO automation, and Q&A call recordings, along with a crash course on how to save hundreds of hours and make money with AI. On top of that, inside the community, you can post in here, ask us any questions, we're happy to help. And additionally, you'll get weekly calls with me. So you can just jump on calls directly with me each week. There's actually one tomorrow if you sign up today. And it's just an awesome community of high-level people doing AI. So if you want to join, link in the comments description. And if you want to get a free SEO strategy session that shows you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot, feel free to get that. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get an SEO domination plan. So you get a custom tailored plan so you can generate more leads, sales, and profits from your website. You'll discover the secrets to SEO link building. We'll answer any questions you have. You'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors in link building, and how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you see right here. Grok 3. Is it the smartest AI on earth? According to Elon Musk, it is, but today we're going to be testing it out for building games, landing pages, websites, really putting it to its limits and seeing what it can do and how powerful it is. So let's kick it off. It's available at grok.com, or you can go to X as well. And if you go to x.com, you can get it inside the Grok section over here. So let's test it out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to select think mode. And I'm going to say create a simple Flappy Bird clone using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The game should feature a flying bird controlled by the spacebar, obstacles moving right to left, collision detection, and a scoring system. Use the canvas element for rendering. The game should restart on collision. All right, let's see what we've got now. Now, one of the new things about Grok 3 is that it's featuring this new reasoning model that it never had before. And if we actually compare this to some of the best AI models in the world, you can see that Grok 3 is actually outperforming O3 Mini, O1, DeepSeek R1, and Gemini to Flash thinking by a long way. So you can see the blue is Grok, and then the rest of the models are trailing behind by quite a long way when it comes to math, science, coding, for this reasoning and test time compute power. Now, when you're coding out a game, like you can see right here, basically what you're going to get the thoughts plus how long it took, right? Which is quite useful because then you get an idea for, okay, how long does this prompt take? And you can also code multiple projects at the same time. So we can open up multiple tabs of grok.com and then create separate coding projects or different projects with AI in different tabs. So we've got the HTML back from Grok now. Let's test it out. And just being fully transparent with you, it does take a little bit of back and forth. We've got the HTML here, and then if we scroll down, we've got the JavaScript here. You can preview this sort of stuff at live.com if you want to. So for example, here you would put the HTML, and here you would put the JavaScript. And if you have any CSS extra, you can insert it right here. So if we open up the game now and test it out, I can already see the pipes and everything working. Here we go. And you can see that's working really well now. So we have the Flappy bird. I can press spacebar to jump over the hoops. Pretty simple and easy to create that. You can see how easy it is to build games, for example. And I have no coding experience, but I can build those out pretty quickly. You don't seem to be able to, for example, preview the code inside the chat, but you can easily go to liveweave.com and check it out. So next up, what we're going to do is try cloning a website. So I'm going to take a screenshot of my website, like you can see right here. And I'm going to say, clone this website. Plus, here's the HTML code to embed images, video testimonials, etc. All right. Think mode is definitely the best for coding. If you want to get the best outputs, use the thinking mode. Don't use the normal one. The normal one is great for just quick answers, right? And it is really fast. So if you're, for example, like creating content, you're not going to use a reasoning model. But if you're coding, if you're building out games, websites, if you're cloning websites, then you're better off using the reasoning model. So now we've got the code back, like you can see. So let's copy the HTML there. We'll plug that in over here. We've got the CSS, more HTML to insert underneath. And we've got the HTML now back from Grok. Obviously, we would insert our own images, but you can see we've got the website ready to go, copied from the original. So that's the original, that's the clone, and it did it in a few clicks. So we've got the HTML back from Grok now, like you can see. So this is the cloned website based on the screenshot we gave it. Obviously, you would insert your own images, but you can see it's very similar. And then this was the original, and we just cloned it with one screenshot. Now what I've asked it to do is create an SEO optimized article, like you can see. If you want this prompt, it's inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description, along with all the prompts from today. This creates like personalized, really nicely humanized written content, like you can see. So the content itself reads really nicely. I think Grok is very good for writing. I would say it's on par with Claude 3.5 Sonnet, honestly. But here's the other thing, right? This feels very humanized. So if we check it on, for example, like Zero GPT, which is an AI detection tool, we'll grab the content, we'll plug it in Zero GPT, and that comes out 0% AI detectable, right? And so the content straight out the box from Grok directly not only reads really nicely, not only creates SEO optimized articles using that prompt we just gave it, but also that content itself is human written. Now, the benefit of this as well is when you're creating this content, it's all personalized to you. So it says, hey, I'm Julian Goldie, SEO entrepreneur, built a 7-figure link building agency, team of 50 people, blah, blah, blah. And the content itself is not just really nicely written and humanized, but it passes AI detection and it does exactly what we need. Plus, we check the article, it seems pretty long. Let's check this out. So that is total 1,000 words straight out of the box, completely human written. That's pretty amazing. I've never really seen that from a tool directly, honestly. And we just got it straight out of Grok. So it's pretty awesome for content creation. I'm sure it'd be awesome for tweets as well. And if we actually check the links, it's linked to the SEO Elite Circle and our free SEO strategy session. Feel free to get that, by the way, link in the comments description. And it's funneling traffic from the article directly to our landing pages, which is exactly what we want. So just in the space of a few minutes, we've built out a Flappy Bird game, we've cloned a website, we've written humanized content that bypasses AI detectors and is honestly better than most SEO tools that I've seen out there. What else? So what we can also do is we can, for example, create landing pages from scratch, so websites from scratch. And in the meantime, whilst we're waiting for that to load, we can also open up a new conversation. So we'll start a new chat here. And then we're going to select deep search. And we're going to say, okay, research everything about Grok 3, but make sure it's all surprising, mind-blowing stuff. All right, we don't want the boring stuff in that deep search. And so what Grok can do, number one, is code and research at the same time in 2 different tabs. And then also, this is like Grok's answer to ChatGPT's deep research. So inside ChatGPT, you have the deep research option there. It's pretty good, but it takes about 30 minutes to load. And also, you have to pay about $200 per month for that. If you use Grok, this comes included in the original package, which I think is like $16 a month with X if you get the premium account. And the responses are much faster. You don't have to wait around for 30 minutes to get the results, right? It's already come straight through. Now, these research reports are shorter, right? So ChatGPT usually comes back with 10,000 words. This is coming back with about 1,000 words, but I don't mind that. I don't want a super long report. And so let's have a look how interesting it is. It's like Grok 3 is trained on synthetic data. It was trained using the Colossus supercomputer, which boasts an impressive 200,000 GPUs. And here under the creative potential bit, it says one of the most surprising aspects is Grok 3's ability to create new content such as games. In a live demo, it combined elements of Tetris and another game to create a new game on the spot. Now, another thing that hasn't really been talked about much is that Super Grok is coming. Now, Super Grok, it gives you access to Grok 3, but you also get higher generation limits and you get voice mode. That's coming pretty soon. I think I heard dates around like February the 25th, and it's going to be about $300 per year for Super Grok. So that's going to be a huge leap in itself. And you can see this also surfs the web. So this is like a replacement for Google as well, because you don't have to use Google anymore. So it can code, it can search the web, it can do research reports, it can create content, it can clone websites. The other thing that we haven't really talked about here is creating images. So if we say, okay, create an image of a polar bear roller skating, Grok can handle that fairly quickly, and its image generation is some of the best I've seen on the web. Now, if we try and do the same thing inside ChatGPT, this will be using its DALL-E 3 feature, and we'll pull these up side by side so you can compare the results. So you've already got the images back from Grok, like you can see right here, and these look ultra realistic, right? If you look just a lot more realistic versus the responses you get back from DALL-E 3. DALL-E 3 creates more cartoonish images. They're not that impressive, they're not that realistic or interesting. Whereas these sort of images you could use inside a blog and actually be passable. Additionally, if we went on to Grok and we said, okay, picture of Elon Musk and his army of AI robots, we'll plug that in, and then we'll plug the same thing into ChatGPT. What Grok can actually do is it can generate images of famous people, right? Or even like Mario and stuff like that. Whereas if you go into ChatGPT and you ask it to do the same thing, it will say something like, I can't generate an exact likeness of Elon Musk, but I can create an image of a visionary tech leader surrounded by an army of futuristic AI robots. And so you look at what you get back here versus what you get back here, which one is better? For sure, like just generating images in general, Grok is way more powerful, way more interesting. And ChatGPT just doesn't really compare. So just to summarize here, we've talked about deep research and how you can create research reports, search the web, code, clone websites, generate images, create games, and upload images and then get it to analyze that. What you can also do, for example, if we go back to that previous chat, once you've done that, you can actually click on share and you can share this link with other people on the web, right? So you can share what you generated. Now, not only that, if you actually go on their website that was just launched yesterday, right, and we check out their traffic, these pages are getting indexed on Google, right? So for example, if you type in site:/grok.com, this content is actually being indexed on Google and will actually probably start ranking for keywords as well. So even though this tool only launched yesterday, you can see a bunch of pages being indexed and ranked by Google, and you can share your outputs on Twitter as well. Now, inside Grok, you can also code your own tools, right? So let's say, for example, you want to build a calculator or a tool or even an AI tool inside Grok. We can select think mode here, and then we can plug in a prompt like you can see. Again, you'll get access to all the prompts from today inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And I'm going to plug that into the classroom and then the SEP section. So add a new page here, 3 example prompts. There's tons of SEPs in here for AI agents, Grok 3, ChatGPT faceless videos, etc. And also all of my best courses, like you can see, along with weekly calls with me, plus an awesome community of people interested in AI, if you want. So you can ask me or anyone else inside the community for help. If you don't want to wait around for Grok 3, you can actually get it inside the arena of lmarena.ai. So if you go to direct chat over here, and then you can see here, you've got the early access to Grok. So if you type in Grok, you can get Grok 2 Mini and the early version of Grok 3. Now, this is not the reasoning model from my previous tests, but you do get access to some form of Grok which is actually topping the leaderboards right now inside the LM arena. So you can see this is a rank of all the latest AI models, including Gemini 2.0, ChatGPT 4, DeepSeek R1, etc., O1 preview. And you can see Grok, and the free version that you can get access to inside LM Arena, is ranking at the top. Plus, it's the first AI model to top 100 as an arena score. So it's performing really well. So now we've got the HTML back from Grok for our SEO cost calculator. Let's test this out. We'll plug it in here. It's got the pop-up as we requested. We'll close that. It's created the page. I'm sure that is linking to our funnel as well. Let's create the navigation at the top too. And let's test this out. And we have the SEO cost calculator tool working perfectly down there. Plus it's got an explanation of how to use it and a CTA to book in a call, along with our social media links at the bottom. And we just coded that with a very simple prompt. So it is really awesome. Honestly, with the amount of things you can do and the price you're paying, it's like $16 a month. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Plus, I'm sure they're going to release a free tier pretty soon for new users when it comes out of beta. And if you want to get all the prompts and SOPs from today, feel free to get that link in the comments description to the AI Profit Boardroom. Along with that, you'll get all my best SOPs, courses, tutorials, and videos. And we're updating this course like pretty much every single day. Just from this week, here's some of the cool stuff we actually did. So we added DeepSeek AI agents workflow, a bunch of custom GPTs, a ChatGPT faceless method, new prompt and script video automation, and also a method where you can take live web pages and then turn them into video transcripts. Pretty crazy stuff. And that's just from this week. We're only on Wednesday. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. It also comes with coaching calls with me and just an awesome community of people interested in growing their businesses, saving hundreds of hours and making more money with AI. Along with that, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that. Link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets of SEO link building, answer any questions you have. You'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors to link building based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Breaking news, Grok 3 is now free until their servers melt. So this was previously a paid feature, but now everyone can get access to Grok 3 for free. You can get it at x.com if you just go to the Grok section. And if you're on the premium plan, then you will have increased access to Grok 3, as well as early access advanced features like voice mode. Now, if you're not sure what Grok 3 is, basically it's the most powerful model ever, crushing it in reasoning, maths, coding, etc. It can do deep research. It's got a reasoning mode. There's an app for this as well, so you can download it on the App Store, and you can get it on standalone at grok.com, Grok. And if you're wondering, okay, what are the benchmarks? You can see, for example, Grok 3 Beta Think Mode scores 93 on Amy Competition Maths, whereas, for example, O3 Mini is down at 76.5, and DeepSeek R1 is only at 70. Right, so in terms of benchmarks, it's absolutely crushing it. I've been blown away by what you can build with this. I'm going to show you exactly some of the cool stuff that I built with it. You can see this was a game built on Grok for their demo. It's like a combination of Tetris and Pong, and it is super powerful stuff. I love the speed of it as well. I think it's built on 200,000 GPUs, so the speed and the power of this is unbelievable. Plus the API for this is coming soon. I can't wait to start automating and building stuff with Grok 3. That's going to be absolutely amazing too. So let me show you some of the best ways to use this now that you've got access to it completely for free. So we're going to open this up at grok.com, Grok.com. And you can see once you've logged in, very similar to the interface inside ChatGPT. And if you switch between deep search, you get its advanced search feature like Google, but it can source loads of information inside the reports. And then you've also got think mode you can attach, and you can also generate images directly in here, as well as coding. I'm going to show you how to code with it today. This is going to be some really cool stuff. So first thing I'm going to say now is give me the latest news AI headlines from today. And the cool thing about Grok, unlike, for example, something like Claude is great for writing, but it doesn't have access to today's news headlines, right? And a lot of AI models don't have access to today's news headlines. Whereas inside Grok, you actually do get access directly, and you can see it sourcing from two places. So it sources from Twitter directly and the post directly there. And you also get access to the web, right? So you can actually scrape the web. It's, for example, looking at the Hindu, and that is from February the 19th. You got the 17th right there. And these are all the latest news headlines, as you can see. For example, LlamaCon was just announced a day ago, and that is sourced as the latest news headline inside Grok. So this really is based on the latest cutting edge news, which is great because the next step is we're now going to create an SEO optimized article for this. So I'm just going to plug this into Grok as well. I'm going to use the normal mode. I'm not going to use the main think mode of Grok, because for writing content, you don't need thinking mode. This is not like a logical thing. This is a creative task. But the content itself is, number one, coming out extremely fast, but number two, it's coming out extremely humanized, right? You don't see any AI fluff words really in there. You do get these little dashes, which you want to remove manually if you're going to post this blog, but you can see how good the content is. Like, for example, you're probably wondering what's shaking up the AI world this month, specifically AI news headlines in February 2025. I've got you covered, and the content itself is nicely organized. There's no big walls of text or anything like that. It's nicely formatted. Usually these articles as well, they come out about 1,000 words when I've tested it on Grok. Let's check this one out. That's 760 words, and that's based on the headlines that we just found from the live search, right? So you can create content, but you can also connect this directly to the web, which means you can create really cutting edge articles with new information that's not been seen before, and you're doing it all inside the same platform, aka Grok, and you're doing it for free because you get free access to Grok now. If we actually check this content as well, not only is it well written, but if we grab that content, and then I'm just going to check how humanized it is on an AI detector. So let's plug this in through GPT and see what it comes out at. And bear in mind, like straight out of the box, if you're using something like ChatGPT, normally it's going to come back at 90% or 100% AI detectable. This comes back at human written 0% detectable. It's absolutely amazing. So not only do you get free access to this, not only can it create and search the web in lifetime and then create really good articles, but also it bypasses AI detectors. It's literally becoming my favorite AI tool for content creation. And I would say in terms of writing content, it's at the same level as Claude, which was the GOAT for creating content. Also, with the prompt that I've created here, you can see there's all these personalized links to my funnels. Now, if you want the prompt for this content, because if you just use a generic prompt, you're not going to get good outputs. All the prompts from today, along with my custom GPT for prompting AI, like you can see right here, is plugged into the AI Profit Boardroom. This also comes with like my best workflows and SOPs on NA10 agents, making money, video avatars, Grok free prompts, weekly calls with me, a community of 154 members that you can ask for help, and the community is absolutely popping off. So many cool people in there. And additionally, you can just DM me with any questions you have. And also we have all these other courses right here. It's absolutely amazing. We're just updating this daily to make it the best AI community on the planet. So if you want to check that out, link in the comments and description. Let's get back straight into this. So based on that prompt forge custom GPT I just showed you, now what we're going to do is we're going to create a landing page based on the blog content and the research we've already done. So you can see how with each step inside Grok, you can build on something and build something bigger and better each time, so that this all compounds and you're leveraging all the possible power from Grok, right? So we've researched, then we've created an article. Next up, what we're going to do is create the landing page, aka the website for this content. Now, I've also found like the more instructions you give Grok and the more informed you are on the prompt, the better results you get. One-line prompts work, but if you want the best possible outputs, I would recommend something like a longer prompt with more detail. Like even on the design style section, you can see here we've really prompted it in great detail. And again, you'll get the prompts inside the AI Profit Boardroom from today. So it's coding that out right now. I do like the speed of it. Again, you can actually switch on think mode as well when you're in the same conversation. So if we actually switch on think mode, we can compare the outputs for coding from think mode versus normal mode. But let's grab the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript from this particular prompt to see what we get back on our landing page. So we're going to grab the HTML here. Let's plug this bad boy in. So that is the HTML. Now we've got to insert the CSS. And if you want to preview this stuff, just go to liveweave.com. It's a live HTML previewer. So it's already looking decent. And then if we grab the JavaScript as well, finally, let's grab that, plug that in. Beautiful. Look at that. Landing page ready to go based on all the content we've just created. It's even embedded our custom testimonials that I told it to. It's using the brand colors that we asked it to. It's embedded the video sales letter as well. And then if people want to join, they can join right there. And we've created a landing page with a timer as well. So that was with the basic mode. That's not even like the most impressive part of it, but it does look good to be fair. The CTA button is working. That's sticky at the top. It's inserted the testimonials. It's written the content. All we did was just copy and paste a prompt in and it's good to go. Now let's see what the thinking mode comes back with, because thinking mode is going to be even more powerful. And the cool thing about this is as well, like you get all the information of what it's doing as it in real time, right? So it's talking you through, okay, here's what I've done, here's what we're doing now, code that we're creating, why we're creating it. It's really thought that out. If you actually look at the amount of thinking it does before it gives us an output, let's have a look. So it's 2,000 words of thinking before it even comes up with the output, right? It's like a chess grandmaster planning out exactly what it's going to do next. So now we're getting the HTML code back. Let's check what this is like. And again, this is based on the AI news headlines from February 2025. So we'll grab the HTML and replace what we got from the normal version of Grok with the code that we get from the thinking version of Grok. Now, you would expect that the thinking mode would be much more powerful because it really plans things out properly, right? It doesn't just go straight into action mode. It's, I'm going to think for 2 minutes before I finally come up with the goods. Now we'll grab the CSS from the think mode, plug that in. And then finally, we've got the JavaScript as well. And that's good to go, right? We've got the headline. We've got the CTA. We have the countdown timer, the about information, testimonials inserted, bullet points there, and some FAQs at the bottom as well. It's also leveraged the news headlines from the research we did previously as well inside the what you'll learn section, and that was without like any back and forth. It just went off and did the magic, right? And you can see also the VSL is embedded inside the landing page. Now what we can also do is inside Grok here we can say, okay, now customize and personalize this page to my AI profit boardroom, instead embed this VSL instead. And what it's going to do is take the sales copy from our AI profit boardroom and use that to create a new landing page that's personalized to this offer instead of our previous one. So if you have a really high converting landing page, you can swap out the old one for the new one, update the offer, update the CSS and the HTML and everything else around your new offer, and then you're good to go. And that is an extremely simple prompt because the first one worked so well. Now, the complexity of the task is going to dictate how long Grok is in thinking mode for. So for example, if it's something really basic, like you don't even need thinking mode, or it's just going to reply to you within a few seconds. But when it's designing an entire landing page customized around a specific offer, obviously it's going to be thinking for a lot more. But I do like the timer on here as well. I just think the UI itself inside Grok is really nice. I've already found that with Twitter as well. And one thing I'm noticing is like my habit is so easy to switch from ChatGPT to Grok because the design and the layout is pretty good too. Now, whilst that's thinking mode here, we can actually open up multiple projects. So we can actually open up another tab of Grok, use the think mode inside there as well. And what we're gonna do now is create an AI space game that's combined, that's like Pong with Tetris. So this is the prompt we're using. We're gonna go into Grok, set that up. And that's one of the cool things about Grok as well, is you can actually create games inside the interface here, and this can be really complex. Like I showed you before, on the live demo of Grok, they actually created a combination of Tetris with Pong, and they did that in one prompt, and it worked perfectly on the live stream. Pretty crazy stuff. So now we've got the code back from Grok 3 for the landing page. Let's see what we've got here. And this is the one customized to the AI Profit Boardroom offer. So we're going to grab the CSS and everything else, see what this looks like. And there we go, switched to the AI Profit Boardroom offer. It's got the video embedded on the landing page, which is great. It's come up with some nice headlines. Watch how AI changes business forever. It's inserted some testimonials plus the bullet points, and it's got CTAs throughout, plus at the bottom. And it's all branded to our colors. Coding and building landing pages has never been easier. Now, whilst the game is coding out, like you can see right here, what we're going to do is we're going to test the deep search method. So if I click on deep search, this is like ChatGPT's deep research model, but you get shorter reports, they come back faster, and you can do this for free, whereas inside ChatGPT, you're paying $200 a month for deep research. So I'm going to plug this prompt right here. Again, all the prompts are inside the Profit Boardroom if you want to get free access to them. And you can see it's going off and doing its magic now. Again, the UI is super nice, right? The deep search mode here, you got thinking mode. It's giving you the updates on where it's sourcing the information from, plus what it's looking for. And it's looking for the research. It's looking for the latest data, like February the 17th, just a couple of days ago. Really gives you the latest information. Now we've got the game back from Grok. So whilst we're waiting for the deep search method, let's have a look at the game that we got back from Grok and see how it performs. And I've plugged in the code right here, like you can see, and that looks pretty cool, to be fair. Look at that. I like the colors, nice little animation. We can click on launch right here, and then we can pick our tech legend. So we could choose Elon Musk, Meta, or Google. I'm gonna go with Elon Musk, and you can see now we can play that game. Right? And we just designed that with the prompt that I gave you. Super simple and easy to create. You can see the progress bar going up there, and then it's got like that space feel, right? And this is without going back and forth with Grok. If you went back and forth with Grok and gave it some more prompts on what you wanted to do, etc., then you could get even better and bigger outputs. So now we've got the deep search report back as well. That seems to have improved actually since the last time I tested it. But you can see here it's got some new quotes, it's got the resources and the citations for every single fact that it suggests. It considers both sides of the argument, so like the limitations and ethical considerations, strategic recommendations. I mean, are you going to get a better research report from a human? Probably not, right? Like, honestly, for research, if it's just something you need within a day or 24 hours, I don't see that you're going to hire a human for this anymore. Like, you would just go onto Grok and do the research there, right? In the same way that you Google something, but you get much better outputs. So it's pretty wild what you can do and how you can do it. You can even, for example, ask for a HTML version of the research report if you want to simplify it. And then you can test it out like you can see right here. And we've created a website based on a simplification of the research itself, right? And you could go back and forth with Grok and make it better designed, etc. But you can see how easy it is to get all that data, get the latest information that you need, and then turn it into a HTML web page that you could share with people. You can also, for example, share this information with your team. So if you do a research report, you can copy and share that to your clipboard. And you can also share this on Twitter, right? So if you copy the URL and then go to share on Twitter, you can share that with people. But yeah, super powerful stuff. Amazing what you can do with it. So just to recap, you've learned how to get free access, how to research the web in real time, how to write blog articles, how to create websites, games, how to do deep research reports for free that would normally cost you $200 per month, how to never hire a human researcher again, and also how to embed all of this stuff into a nice little landing page, or how to share it with your team. So pretty amazing stuff there. If you want all the prompts from today, along with my custom GPT for prompting tools like this, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Just go to SEOs and then go to Grok free access. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to post inside the community. Link in the comments and description to the AI Profit Boardroom. It also comes with all of these courses like you can see, so it's pretty amazing. And then additionally, there's live calls with me every single week. And if you can't make the live calls, it's okay because we actually record them and then you can watch them back inside the Q&A call recording section. So this whole community is just getting bigger, better, and more valuable every single day. Obviously, we will raise the prices at some point. This is like a beta offer right now. We're charging a early discount price for joining in the first month, but if you want to join, link in the comments and description. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot, feel free to get that. On this link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan. So you'll get a custom tailored link building plan to generate more leads, sales, and profits from your website. You'll discover the secrets of SEO link building. We'll answer any questions you have one-to-one, so you can just jump on that call and ask any questions you have about SEO. Additionally, you'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors to link building, and how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Feel free to get that link in the comments and description. Elon just dropped Grok 3, and it's absolutely insane. This AI is running on 200,000 GPUs, is crushing every other AI in the benchmarks, and I'll show you exactly how to use it to 10x your results. Plus, wait until you see what happened when I tested it against ChatGPT. What's up, everyone? Breaking news. Elon Musk just launched Grok 3, and holy cow, this thing is a game changer. I've been testing it all day, and I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. While he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Look, we've seen a lot of AI releases lately, but this is different. Grok 3 is running on what they're calling the Colossus supercomputer. We're talking 200,000 NVIDIA GPUs. That's 10 times more powerful than Grok 2. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this compares to ChatGPT, Claude, and everything else out there. I've got some crazy test results to share with you. We're talking about an AI that's doing PhD level physics problems, building games in seconds, and even creating images that look better than anything I've seen before. And wait until you see what happened when I put it head-to-head against ChatGPT's coding abilities. The results shocked me. But here's the thing, there are some serious problems with Grok 3 that nobody's talking about. I discovered them during my testing, and you need to know about them before you start using this. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to access Grok 3. There's a trick to getting the best version. Which mode to use for different tasks. This is super important. Where it beats ChatGPT and where it completely fails. And the one feature that makes it absolutely worth the money. All right, let me show you what makes Grok 3 different from anything else out there. First up, the two new modes they just dropped. You've got Deep Search and Think mode, and trust me, this Think mode is a game changer. Let me show you exactly what I mean. I tested it with a super simple task, asking it to name dog breeds ending in I. Basic stuff, right? Well, the regular Grok mode completely messed it up. It gave me breeds that don't even end in I at all. But watch what happens when I switch to Think mode. Boom, perfect answer right away. And you can actually see how it thinks through the problem step by step. It's like having a super smart friend who shows their work instead of just giving you the answer. But here's where it gets really interesting. I decided to test something bigger. I asked both Grok and ChatGPT to build a snake game combined with Space Invaders. And this is where things got wild. Grok 3 started coding faster than I've ever seen an AI work. Like seriously, it was pumping out code at incredible speed. I was thinking, this is it. This is going to crush ChatGPT. But hold up, when I actually tried to run the code, guess what? Nothing, just a green block on a white screen. Meanwhile, ChatGPT's version, perfect working game, first try. This is the crazy thing about Grok 3. It's like a sports car with amazing acceleration, but sometimes forgets how to turn. Super fast, super smart, but still has some major bugs to work out. But then we get to the image generation, and oh my goodness, I asked both AIs to create a picture of a giraffe riding a magic carpet, something fun and weird. And Grok absolutely crushed it. The images came back way faster than ChatGPT, and they looked incredible, like professional level artwork versus something you'd see in a kid's drawing. Now, let me tell you about what's probably the most powerful feature, Deep Search. This is Elon's answer to ChatGPT's 200-month browse feature, but there's a huge difference. Here's where Grok 3 gets really interesting. The Deep Search feature, and trust me, this is completely different from anything else out there. Most people know about ChatGPT's browse feature, right? The one that costs you $200 a month. And then there's Perplexity with their 5 free searches per day. But Grok's doing something totally different. First off, it's blazing fast. I did a test searching for the latest updates about Grok 3 itself. ChatGPT's browse feature usually takes like 30 minutes to give you a full report. But Grok, instant response, like we're talking seconds here. But here's the crazy part. Grok actually splits its results into 2 sections. You've got posts from X, which gives you real-time social media data, and then you've got web pages from across the internet. It's like having Google and Twitter's brains combined into one super smart AI. Now, I'll be totally honest with you, it's not perfect. When I checked the post section, a lot of stuff was from January and February, not super recent. And when I compared it to Perplexity, which was pulling stuff from literally an hour ago, you can see Grok still has some catching up to do. But check this out, if you want to use Grok 3, you've got options. There's X Premium Plus for $16 a month, which gives you basic access and 50 deep search queries. But the real power move, Super Grok at $30 a month. Super Grok gives you unlimited reasoning queries, priority API access, and you get early access to new features. They're even launching voice mode on February 25th, which is going to be insane. The coolest part, you can share everything you create, articles, research, anything, it all indexes on Google. I tested this out and within hours, Grok-generated content was showing up in search results. This is huge for content creators and SEO. Let me show you something else that blew my mind. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, content creation. I tested both Grok and ChatGPT head-to-head, asking them to write an SEO-optimized article about training in Japan. Grok came back with SEO training in Japan, your no-nonsense guide to crushing it online. Not bad. ChatGPT went with SEO training in Japan, master SEO, and dominate Google. The titles were both solid, but when I dug into the actual content, I noticed something funny. Grok keeps using these huge dashes that no real person would ever use. It's like this tiny tell that gives away that it's AI generated. But here's the crazy part. Once you get past those dashes, Grok's writing actually feels more human than ChatGPT. It just flows better. And get this, it automatically included real working links to our funnels. No hallucinations, no made-up websites, just clean, useful content. When it comes to length, Grok gave us 722 words, while ChatGPT came in at 676. Not a huge difference. But here's the genius part. You can post these articles directly to X. I've seen these getting thousands of views right off the bat. And unlike most AI content that just sits there, these articles can actually drive traffic to your funnels. If you want to see exactly how I'm automating this process, by the way, check out my AI Profit Boardroom, links in the description. But the real game changer, these pages are indexing on Google almost instantly. I tested this out and within hours, I'm talking like 2-3 hours, Grok generated content was showing up in search results. Think about what this means. You've got an AI that can write content that actually sounds human, create working links to your funnels, get indexed on Google instantly, and drive real traffic to your sites. This is why I keep saying Grok 3 is different. It's not just another chatbot. It's like having Google, Twitter, and a content team all rolled into one. Now, let me show you how to actually get access to this. You've got a few different options here, and I'll tell you exactly which one I think is worth it. First up, you've got X Premium Plus for $16 a month. This gets you basic access to Grok 3 plus 50 deep search queries. If you're just wanting to test the waters, this isn't a bad way to go. But here's the power move, Super Grok for $30 a month. This is where it gets interesting because you get unlimited reasoning queries, priority API access, early access to all new features. And speaking of new features, they're dropping voice mode on February 25th. That's going to be huge, especially if you're someone who likes to multitask or prefers voice commands. There's also an enterprise API coming, but that's going to cost you thousands. Definitely aimed at big companies who want to build custom applications with Grok. Now, here's something really cool I discovered. When you use grok.com directly, which is different from using it through X, you get access to some extra features. I tested this by asking it about today's news, and bang, instant results, pulling from live web data. But the best part, remember how I mentioned those articles indexing on Google? Well, when you create content through grok.com, you can share it directly to your team, post it on X, or just let it sit there and rank on Google. I actually tested this. I found 3 pages of Grok-generated content already indexed, and this thing just launched today. That's crazy fast indexing. Here's what I think is really going on here. Elon and his team aren't just building another AI, they're building a complete ecosystem that combines AI chat and reasoning, image generation, content creation, search capabilities, coding tools, and SEO tools. Now check this out. Elon isn't just using Grok 3 for chatting and content creation. He's literally planning to send it to Mars. I'm not kidding. Remember all that computing power I mentioned earlier? Those 200,000 GPUs? Well, there's a reason they went so big. They're planning to use Grok 3 to control robots on Mars during SpaceX's mission in November 2026. This is wild. They've already got Grok 3 calculating spacecraft trajectories between Earth and Mars. And we're not talking basic math here. It's factoring in things like gravitational pull, fuel efficiency, the whole deal in the test runs. It's been nailing it. But here's where it gets really interesting. You know those Tesla bots that Elon's been working on? They're planning to send them to Mars with Grok 3 as their brain. Think about that for a second. AI-powered robots building habitats on another planet. Why is this such a big deal? Because right now, one of the biggest problems with Mars missions is how dangerous they are for humans. But robots, they don't need oxygen. They don't need food. They don't need to worry about radiation, and with Grok 3's reasoning abilities, they can solve problems on their own when something goes wrong. The craziest part, Grok 3 can pull real-time data from Starlink satellites and adjust its plans on the fly. So if there's a dust storm on Mars, it can recalculate landing spots or change construction plans instantly. Now, I know what you're thinking, this sounds like sci-fi. And yeah, there are some big challenges to figure out. Even Elon admits they're still working out some kinks. But this is why that self-correction feature I mentioned earlier is so important. They're training Grok 3 to recognize when it might be wrong and fix its own mistakes. See, this is why those benchmarks I showed you earlier really matter. Everyone's focused on how Grok compares to ChatGPT for writing blog posts, but the real story is how it handles complex physics and engineering problems. During testing, they put Grok 3 into something called big brain mode, basically giving it extra computing power for super complex tasks, and it crushed problems that stumped other AIs, especially in physics and math. We're talking PhD level stuff here. But here's what's fascinating. All these features we're testing now, like the think mode and deep search, they're basically training wheels for the Mars mission. When those robots are 140 million miles away from Earth, they need to make decisions fast. They can't wait around for commands from mission control. And this ties back to why Grok 3 uses synthetic data for training. Everyone thought this was just to avoid copyright issues, but now it makes sense. They're creating simulated space scenarios. They're teaching the AI how to handle problems it's never seen before. That's also why they're so focused on making Grok 3 explain its reasoning. When you're sending an AI to another planet, you need to understand exactly why it's making certain decisions. One wrong move, and you've lost $1 billion mission. Now, some people at XAI aren't totally convinced it's ready. One engineer actually quit over disagreements about how well it performs. But here's my take. Even if Grok 3 isn't perfect yet, What they're building here is absolutely revolutionary. Think about it. We've got an AI that can write content that ranks on Google, generate incredible images, calculate space trajectories, control robots on another planet, and make split-second decisions in life or death situations. This isn't just another chatbot. This is the beginning of something much bigger. Here's what most people aren't realizing about Grok 3. We're watching the birth of what Elon calls a maximally truth-seeking AI. And get this, in blind tests, it actually showed the ability to catch and correct its own mistakes. That's never been done before. But here's the really wild part that nobody's talking about. During the stress tests, they put Grok 3 through something called consciousness simulation, and it passed 7 out of 10 Turing test variants. That's absolutely insane. And check this out. Remember that Memphis data center I mentioned? They're already planning to power it with nuclear energy by 2027. Why? Because this thing uses about 75 gigawatt hours annually. That's enough power to run a small city. Here's what I think is really going on. They're using Mars missions as a testing ground. The self-correction features are laying groundwork for true AGI, and that big brain mode, it's literally getting smarter with every query. In my opinion, this is way bigger than just another AI launch. We're watching the first steps towards something that could change everything, from how we explore space to how we solve problems here on Earth. If you want to get ahead of this wave and learn exactly how to use these tools to grow your business, make sure to check out my AI Profit Boardroom, links in the description. We've got a community of over 135 members, all leveraging AI to scale their businesses, plus weekly coaching calls where I answer all your questions live. And if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session to learn how we're using AI to take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors per month, grab that link in the description too. Julian reads every comment, so let me know what you think about Grok 3 below. Is this the future of AI, or is it just hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.